Have you guys had a fun learning week with us? Yes, yes. Yeah. I think it's almost been a week that we've been taking your webinars now, right? Awesome. Okay. Quickly tell me, how many of y'all have attended all the webinars so far? This is your fourth webinar. How many webinars have you attended? Have you attended one or two or all three of them? Yes, all lovely, lovely. Awesome, awesome. Okay. Now, if you are someone who has attended at least two out of these three webinars that have already taken place, then I want you to pat yourself on the back. That's a very good thing. You know why? Because you are one of the few people who has actually taken out the time out of your heavy days, out of your working to actually invest in yourself, right? So, very nice. Congratulations to everyone who has been diligently attending. Okay. Even if you are here for the first time, don't worry. We have a lot of items to share. We have a lot of information to give you. We're here to give you incredible value. And of course, my voice is still breaking. Okay. Is it better?
Yeah.
Better, better, better?
Yeah, Sneha, I think it's better if you keep your video off for a little while.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I think that's okay. Now, right?
No, there still seems to be an issue.
Okay. Okay. So, Irene, if you want to take over this part, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can just work on your.
Yeah. Let me see what I can do to make it better.
Okay, guys, just give me one moment so that I can share my screen. Can you all see my screen? Okay, so let me just see the chat box once again. How many people said that, okay, you have been attending all of our sessions? Wonderful. That's quite a good number, I believe. See, but even if you're here for the first time, I don't want you to worry, right? Because we have prepared a lot of amazing resources for these 2 days. So even if this is your first webinar, thank you so much for joining us. Welcome. Today is day one of our 2-day webinar marathon. How many of you are excited for these sessions? We've been posting a lot of messages about this on the group. But thank you so much for joining. I hope all of you are excited. The reason why we call this a marathon series is because this is going to be 2 evenings of lengthy sessions, right? Which is why we've been telling you from before. Block your calendars, have a water bottle near you. The idea is today and tomorrow, we're going to build up and tell you how not to just start your career in contract drafting, but also sort of to hand you this Brahmastra that you can use to thrive in your career using the skill of contract drafting. So quickly, I want all of you, I just want to know how many of you are with me here. Get creative with your answers. Put some fun emoticons on the chat box. Okay. Tanya, lengthy as in it's going to be 1 hour, 45 minutes. Okay. So that's all. So, but before I go ahead with like the skill and things for today, I want to quickly do something, which is revise the goal that we set. If you attended the initial session, the first webinar, you'll know that we had actually set a goal in our first webinar, right? Now, I want all of you made a promise that you're going to be consistent in achieving this. What were the goals that we set? Have a stable income with at least 1 lakh as basic pay, right? I think majority chose that. Some of you wanted to take up international clientele. Many others chose, you said you want a stable and established job, right? Either with a law firm or with as an in-house counsel, many different things. How many of you still want this? Yes? Do you guys remember whatever goal you chose? Or have you forgotten in this week? Okay, wonderful. See, the key to achieving this goal is obviously to break it down, right? When you think about, oh, I want a 1 lakh job, obviously nobody knows how to get that in like one shot. So you have to break it down into tiny milestones. The idea is learn 2 or 3 new skills every week. For that skill that you learn to do outreach. That's what we've been doing over the last week, right? You learned influencer agreement, and then we told you how to get clients for that. You come to another agreement, you learn terms and conditions, figure out how to get clients for that. The other day you learned how to do Fiverr, and on the Fiverr day I told you, do at least like, I mean, try to figure out to reach out to like at least 4-5 clientele every day. So that's the short way or the milestone based breakdown in order to get this. Now, how do you otherwise know if you're going in the right direction? See, I'll tell you something. Before we go into that, let's quickly recollect something. How many skills do you think you have learned since you joined this program? A rough figure, what do you think? Guys, one thing I want to tell you before I continue, keep the chat box active. Okay, like don't let the chat box die. You have to like keep at my speed or Sneha's speed. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 6, 3, 4. Okay, most people are saying you only learned less than 5 skills. Okay, let's take a look. I'm hoping that this blows your mind away, because it is not 3, 4 or anywhere close to 5. You've learned around 12 skills. First day, you learned what are the parts of a contract and a checklist on how to draft a common contract. How to identify red flags in influencer agreement. We learned the AI bit also. Terms and conditions, how to review them. I sent the AI part. How to draft a non-compete clause, right? Including as per Canadian laws. How to draft a non-disclosure agreement, both internationally and within India. Now, how to draft a confidentiality clause, how to draft employment agreements, how to structure CXO level employment agreements, remote work policy, how to send outreach messages to startup, how to identify potential clients using websites such as Rocket Reach, Springzo. Finally, we also did Fiverr, right? So how many is that? How many of these skills did you know before joining the program? Before joining the program, how many skills did you learn? Did you know from this list that I just shared? Sampath, if you remember, on the second day, we would have shared a video with all of you in which we actually show how can you live draft a contract, right? On a blank piece of paper, how do you start drafting? There was a video that was shared. I hope you saw that. That would have been very useful for you. Many people are saying one, none, 1 to 2. Okay, great. So don't you think like over the last 1 week, there's been a massive improvement in your skill set? So now I want you to imagine this is what learning a couple of skills every week along with doing outreach exercises. If you do this consistently for 6 months, where do you think you're going to be? Quickly tell me in the chat box. And along with this, if you had one-on-one mentor support, somebody was there to like check your drafts like me or Bhumika has been doing over the last 1 week, telling you how to sort of navigate getting clientele. All of this is going to definitely help you boost up your career, right? Get you where you want to go. This is something that we have actually implemented with 500 plus learners of ours through our advanced programs. They were all learners just like you who made one critical choice of beginning somewhere. Okay, they started and they didn't stop. They continued to learn. Now, that's something that even I would urge all of you to pick up as well. How many times, tell me this, how many times have you wished that somebody could tell you what is a step-by-step method to hit your goals? That 1 lakh goal that you chose. How many of you have wished, I wish there was like a plan, a roadmap that you can give me in order to like hit my particular career goal or monetary goal? Yes, so that's the plan for today. Okay, that is the agenda for today. If you stay till the end of today's session, after I go through co-founders agreement, we will give you a 6-month roadmap. All of you have been receiving personalized versions of this, right? We're going to go in depth in today's session, month by month, week by week, what agreement to learn. After learning this agreement, how do you do your outreach exercises? We're going to give you the plan. Okay, so this is something this is something that you will be able to follow. Are you all ready and excited for this? When I look at my chat box, I see like 9 comments, 10 comments when there's a class of like 203. And I'm like, oh my God, my energy has come down. Okay. Okay, wonderful. Sneha, do you want to pick up from here?
Yeah, I think I'll try. If my internet still causes issues, then I really hope our audience today cooperates till you take it over again, right?
Okay, let's go.
Okay. So I'll just quickly share my screen. Now, setting the agenda very quickly, guys. So this is what we will be covering in the entire session today. Okay. We're going to learn how to identify government recognized startups that you can work with. You're also going to learn how to draft a co-founder agreement that Irene will be teaching you. And that way you can work with any budding startups. You can also grow your work from here onwards. And of course, a step-by-step roadmap that will help you to, cement your journey as a contract drafting specialist. So that's our basic agenda for today. Now, for, of course, people who will stay till the end, we have some very special giveaways. And of course, we will not be sharing those on the group. Now, here's a very simple thing we usually always ask our learners about this, that see, you guys are here in the session. You all are spending 1 hour, 1.5 hours listening to us, right? So you guys have to tell us if you're okay with all these documents being shared on the group with the people who are not attending. It's your call. Okay. Let us know what you think about it. If the documents that you will be getting, even they should be getting. If not, we'll share it here on the chat and you can download it from here. Okay. Yes. Awesome. Okay. Now, so far, you guys have learned 12 skills with us, right? Now, that also means that if you find potential clients for whom you can work, but question comes, how will you find these clients, right? You need to find clients, you have these skills, you have to make use of them somewhere. But how will you find these clients? Does anyone know how to go ahead and find these clients? Yes, no? No? Okay. Okay. Fiverr, okay. We're going to quickly learn how to find startups to work with. Okay. Now, this is usually our best shot at getting work which is going to be sustainable, because then you start to grow with startups. Everyone knows the startup culture. Everyone understands that startups are thirsty for good resources. They're thirsty for people who want to succeed, right? Now, here's a simple thing about startups. They are hungry. Okay, they are hungry for good people, for reliable people. They're waiting for people to reach out to them who will help them. But then again, because they are startups, it always also means that they may not actually have a lot of resources, right? Why is that so? Because most startup founders are geeks. Okay, they are geeks who are very passionate about their products. They usually cannot afford full-time legal counsels. But here's the thing, they have a lot of documentation work. And of course, they will retain you if you do a good job with it. Do you guys agree with this? That if you do good work for someone, that they will always reach back to you. Right? Okay. Awesome. Now, here's a very simple thing. How many of you all have already interacted with young generation founders? They want people who are fast, who understand AI, who can do quick turnaround, who are ready to work, who are also looking forward to the same level of, I would say, enthusiasm that they have for their product, right? And for their requirements. Now, this is where you have an advantage, right? Now, quickly tell me, do you think senior lawyers understand how social media works the way that you do? What do you guys think? Now, imagine someone who has 35, 40 years of experience in the legal field versus you who probably have maybe 0 years of experience or maybe 3 to 4, maximum 10 years of experience. You have an edge over these people, right? You're faster with technology, you're faster with the resources, right? You can move better around in digital spaces in AI. That's your added advantage. Plus, there are recognized startups across every district and every state in India. Okay. India is the third largest startup ecosystem in this entire world, right? Most of our cities, the metropolitans at least, have become startup hubs. So you don't have to be located somewhere very specifically. You don't have to be located in a tier 1 city. You don't have to be located in Pune, Mumbai, Delhi, or some big city like that to get work with startups, right? Imagine you can literally do all of this work, get connected with startups, literally from the comfort of your hometown. Okay, that's something that we can discuss now. Okay, this is a quick snip. This link we will share in the chat. So you can also review it at a later point. So you can also ensure that the information you're gaining from us is correct. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how to actually find startups. Okay, is everyone ready for this? Everyone is good? Can we get started with the first skill? If yes, give me a yes. Right? Okay. Okay, let me quickly show you guys the link. Okay, how many of you? Okay, can you guys see the screen? Is the screen visible? Are you able to see the Startup India GOV page? Yes? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share this exact same link so you guys can save it. Okay, this link is the direct link to this page. Of course, you can go ahead and do a proper Google search for this website. But if you simply just click on the link, it will take you to the same page where I'm currently placed. Okay. How many of you all have used this website before? How many of you all have seen this website, have used this website before? Okay. Some people haven't. Okay. So I'm quickly going to give you a short demo of how to use it to the best of this website's abilities. Okay. So this is a very simple and a very interesting website. Now, I know you guys can't see my expression, but I'm super excited to show you guys this. As we go through, this particular website, if you have any questions, tell me, okay? Because then accordingly, we can get this resolved. Now, here's the thing. This is a simple page. You can see multiple startups here, okay? Now, to your left side, you will see multiple options of filters, very simple filters to go through. First one is industry. Now, very simple thing, you have to select an industry that interests you. Okay, every possible industry is placed here. So, when I go here, I can actually scroll and let's say I want to look at agriculture. If I'm someone who wants to reach out to a startup company, but in the agricultural sector, then I will select agriculture. Okay. Sector again means that there will be more sectors. See, industry is the larger part, sector is a smaller part inside it. It's a subset. Okay. So, under agriculture, there's agri-tech, animal husbandry, dairy farming, whatnot, 100 things, right? So, according to that, again, things are further divided. So, let's look at agri-tech. Why not, right? We're all moving towards technology. So, I've selected agri-tech. If any of you all paid attention properly, you all would have seen that the number here is reducing. Why? Because we're adding more and more filters, correct? So, I've gone ahead, selected my industry for agriculture. I've selected sector for agri-tech, okay? Now, coming to the interesting part. This is the stage of a startup, okay? There are basically 4 stages. There's ideation, validation, scaling, and early traction. How many of you all know what these 4 words mean? Because accordingly, I can either explain it very briefly or extremely in short. Accordingly, you guys need to tell me so I can explain it. You can find possibly every type of startup. I'm only looking at agriculture right now because that is something that I wanted to show you guys. If you want me to switch the sector, I'm fine with that. Okay. Now, what does ideation mean? I quickly explain it. Okay. Ideation means that there is a particular founder who has an idea. Simple words. Okay. He has an idea and they are testing it out with a very small audience. How many of you all have probably done beta testing of apps, right? For example, something is rolled out, a product is developed, it's given out to maybe 10, 20 people to see how the target wala market actually reacts to it. Okay, what sort of experience comes across, right? So that is ideation. It is in the very, very, very early stages. Okay. Next is, everyone understood ideation? Everyone understood ideation? Okay, great. Radhakrishnan didn't. Okay, we'll again rehearse. Ideation basically means that a company ka idea has just been created. It's at a very small stage. Okay, yet to actually confirm the product or the specifications. Okay, Next thing. Next point is validation. It means that the product, the previous testing that was done turned out to be good. So the company is taking their product and sending it across to more individuals. What they're doing is they're giving it across to more individuals. They are bringing in more testers, more users to see how a wider audience is reacting. Okay, that is validation. Very simple way to remember it is this company is getting validation from the customer. Okay, simple meaning, very simple. Good with validation. They are basically increasing the number of tests done. Awesome. Third is scaling. They're adding more and more funds, which means the product is final. The reviews seem to be good. They seem to be understanding. Yes, steps of quality. Okay. They're launching it in the market to their actual audience for reactions. Okay. That is scaling. They're probably starting to look for investors. Okay. And finally, early traction is when they are looking for investors properly. Like, the startup is doing good. Fair enough. These are the 4 stages. Raising funds. Yes. Okay. Raising funds. Now, why do you need to know all of this? I'll tell you. Okay. Why do you need to know this? If you're someone who is just starting out, okay. If you're for the first time, you're reaching out to a startup, if for the first time you're pitching yourself as a contract specialist, then maybe it's ideal that you start with ideation. Why am I saying that? Very simple reason, because these type of companies will have lot of documents, but simpler documents. Okay. Now, if you're someone who has been into contract drafting for some time and has been looking into it, you know the type of documents to be done, then you go ahead for scaling and early traction. Okay. Or you go in for any option. Basically, this is easy, this is medium, this is medium hard, this is hard. Okay. Level of expertise needed. Okay. So, considering I'm going to take a very simple understanding that everyone here is just starting out, and I'm going to take ideation. Okay. As you can see, from 4,000, the number of startups have reduced to 1,331. Okay. What does this mean? The number of startups who in agri-tech under agriculture there are 1,331 in this stage. Okay. Fair enough. Now, if you're someone who is very specific, you know what? I want a startup in my city only. Okay. Because I want to, after connecting with this startup, I also want to meet the founder. I want to meet the team when I'm doing their contracts. It's easy for me to travel. Okay. Then you go ahead and select the state or city. If you're but our recommendation is always going to be keep it pan-India. Okay. Don't make it specific. All your networking, all your conversation, all your Google Meets can happen over the internet. Okay. So as you can see, there are startups in Pune, again in Madhya Pradesh, in Haryana, in Manipal. Okay. Fair enough. So what I'm going to do is, let's say I want to look at Pancharatna Growth Tech Private Limited. Okay, I'm going to click on their profile. Can everyone see this profile? Okay. Here, now I have selected a particular startup I want to look at. Okay, I've selected their name. They are simply exploring. And what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to do a deep research about this particular startup. Okay. I'm going to read everything, what it is that they do, what it is that they wish to do. I'm going to find their website. Basically, I'm going to become a lawyer here, and I'm going to ensure I do my deep research for this particular startup. Okay. Here, once you log in, right now I have not logged in, but when you log in, you will also find their email ID and their phone number. Okay. So once you log in, you will also get their email ID and their phone number. And that is how you reach out to them. Okay. Fair enough. Vin, if you're not able to see the screen, just rejoin the meeting. I think that should help you. Otherwise, did everyone follow this quick tutorial for this particular Startup India website? Okay, understood. I need everyone to give me a yes or a no. If you have any questions, quickly tell me, or we can take the remaining questions at the end of today's session. Fair enough? Okay. Okay. Now, what I would really like for you guys to do is, please don't annotate on the screen. That's something I would really like. But apart from that, what I would really like it if you guys do is, today, when the session ends, and tomorrow before tomorrow's session, explore this website. Okay? Explore the website, go through it, try searching for a sector that looks interesting to you. Okay, try looking for a startup that attracts your attention. Okay, and tomorrow in the webinar, tell me if you found at least one startup who you would want to contact, who you would want to work for. Okay, can maximum people do this? See, it's a fun exercise. It's fun. Or most of y'all are lawyers or law students here, right? This is not a big task, not at all. Yes. Okay. Great. Now, did you guys find this easy? This was a quick tutorial. This will help you get a lot of new companies to reach out to. Make sense? Everyone good with it? Was it easy? Now you know how to find people, okay? But do you know what to say? You see, it's a free account. You can create it. Because I did not log in, I only saw some limited information. If you create an account, you might see more information. There's no hardcore need. You can always search through Google. You can find that company ka website, and then you can find contact us ke andar. You can find their email ID and other information. No need to create an account if you don't want to. Okay. Now, let's quickly understand how to reach out to them. Because now if you already understood that you want to reach out to a particular startup, what will you say to them? This is a quick message. We'll be sharing this with you over WhatsApp. Okay. You can reach out to them saying that, hi, so-and-so, you put the founder's name. I am a contract drafting professional. I'm deeply engaged in the startup ecosystem, and I would absolutely love to support your startup in any way I can. All I want in exchange is your positive review on my LinkedIn or on my Upwork profile. Okay, fairly straightforward, this first part. Okay, after this, you're going to list the things that you can do for them. So you're going to list things. Okay, I can help you with any of these. I can help you formalize your business agreements, your co-founder agreements, so that your commercial interests and duties are clearly defined. This will also be necessary for you to be able to obtain investment. Okay. Next, you will say that I can help you with drafting terms and conditions for web apps, services, e-commerce, website, drafting privacy and other policies, so that your legal risk vis-a-vis users is limited. Okay. Next, you say I can help you draft employment agreements, implement stock option plans, and enter into contracts with consultants and key vendors. Basically, what you're doing is you're listing all the offerings you can do for this particular startup in this particular segment. Place and prepare for investment, assist you with term sheet negotiation, support by writing articles. Now see, support by writing articles about startup. Who is this interesting for? For all the law students here. For all the law students here who probably are not professionals yet, you cannot properly practice because you don't have your sanad as in your bar license. You can always support them by doing research, by writing articles, by just trying to draft some things. Okay, this is something that you can do. Okay, there is a lot of work that you can ask for. All you have to do is reach out and actually ask for it. Okay, next, go ahead and list. See, what this message is going to do is it's going to give you a shoe into the door. Okay, it's not going to assure you work, but what it is going to do is it's going to give people visibility that this person exists, this person has expertise, this person can work. What's going to happen is eventually for the people here who are looking for jobs, who are looking for internships, who are looking for higher packages, who are looking for basically scaling up their particular current stage of career, it's a good place because see, networking is what brings maximum number of people their new jobs. Fair enough? Let me see. I can see a few questions here.
Happy you can continue. I'm answering it on chat.
Thanks. Okay. Now, again, you have to clarify in your outreach message that this is not a commercial proposition or a proposal. I would love to work and you're doing this and would consider it an honor to support the cause. See, no one is asking you to copy paste this exact message. You have to tweak it as per your personality, as per your offerings. Okay. You can also write, I work in XYZ law firm, or I'm currently practicing in XYZ courts in XYZ city, state, and would love to help you on the side. Okay. Now, do not hesitate to let me know if you're interested. As always, a very simple final message that everyone would be aware that you should be adding. Okay. Non-lawyers, introduce yourself as the contracts and business documentation specialist, specify your background, whatever it is, and always suggest that a lawyer may review the final version if necessary. If you're not a lawyer yet, do not represent that you are one, okay? If you're still a law student, tell them that you will do this for your own sake, for your own learning, and also to help them get better at what they are doing, okay? Your goal here is very simple. You have to do a great job for them. You have to impress them, and then you ask for testimonials on LinkedIn and on Upwork. That is the whole goal of this exercise in the start. Okay. Now, after that, you will also ask them for testimonials. And now here's the fun thing. Okay. Startups always know other startups. Every startup founder has at least 2 to 3 startup founder buddies. Okay. That is just how the world works. If you do good work for one person, chance, and you tell them, ki, okay, please recommend my services to your other network people because it would help me scale my practice. This will only help you. Okay. This will probably also help the other people. But this is how networking works. You do work for one person, you do a good job, and then you tell them that please recommend my services to someone else also. It's not something to be embarrassed about. It's not something to be hesitant about. It's not something to be embarrassed about. Okay, this is how the world works. You have to do it this way. Okay, now, fun thing. If these are Indian startups, you can also ask them for introduction to law firms. See, here's the thing. In India, everything works through networking. Everything works through connections. Everything works through talking to more and more people, right? Ask these people if they are Indian startup founders, tell them if you have any law firm partners that you know, or if you're friends with any company's HR, if you know any XYZ company ka people, can you please put a good word? So I would really, it'll help me get an internship or a new job, or I want to upgrade my current job. It would help me, does this make sense? Whatever I'm saying, are you guys understanding the importance of networking for actually scaling in your current profile? If you want new jobs, if you want placements, if you want internships, whatever I'm saying, is this resonating with you guys? Do you think this is something that you guys can do? Do you think it's easy up till now? Yes, see, there is always going to be nepotism, which is why you have to, if someone's a nepo kid and they're reaching out to 4 people, you have to reach out to 40 people. You have some advantage that the nepo kid may not have, okay? Always remember, you have to do your own work, right? Everyone's privilege is very different. Now, always reach out carefully. Do not be aggressive. Do not be very arrogant, okay? Reach out to startups that are not very big. Your goal is to become the big fish in the small pond first. Then you will go to the sea, okay? Reach out to startups with less than 20 people, which are small, which are just starting out. Because dekho, only when you reach out to smaller companies and do good for them will your reputation become good. Okay, this is what we do for our learners, and it helps every single person. Okay, these startups, trust me, they badly need help, and any and every assistance is always acceptable. They're working 24 hours a day and they're trying to put 25 hours under 24 hours. They're basically people who would love any and every assistance that they can get. Okay, make sense? Now, when these people who you are helping, when they raise more investments, when they grow bigger, do you not think that they will rely on you because they will be hungry for more people and for more work, and they know they can rely on you. When you do a good job, okay, when you do a good job for someone who has trusted you, don't you think they will bring more work to your doorstep? Right. Okay. Okay. So I've just quickly spoken about startups and how to go, how to network, what to say. Are you guys feeling good about all of this till now? I know I've already asked you guys if you all have understood, okay? But see, there's a quick pulse check to understand how you guys are feeling, because the session we're just done with one skill. We have a lot more things to teach you, okay? Do try this. Check out the startups, find at least one which you find interesting. And I would absolutely appreciate it if someone tells me tomorrow that, ma'am, I reached out to 3 startup companies over LinkedIn or email with the message that you shared. I haven't gotten a reply, but I have reached out. Okay, this is something that you can do. Okay, I would really love it if I see at least one person tomorrow tell me that I have reached out. Okay, see, you will lose an opportunity if you actually do not work on this, okay? Opportunities rarely come, but right now you're getting methods which will make life much more easier for you, okay? So you have to make the best out of it. If you're not prepared to deliver when a client responds positively, that's okay. Always reach out only when you can, okay? You don't have to do this alone. You don't have to do any of this unprepared. We can help you practice it, and we can also check anything and everything that you send before you send it. Anything that goes to a real client, don't try to hurry it and just give it for the sake of giving it. Try not to do that. Okay, does this make sense? Any assistance you need, we're there to help you. Irene is there, Bhumika is there, I'm there. We'll review your messages, your documents, your drafts. At LawSeco, this is what we do for most of our learners. Okay. Ensure before you deliver work to a real client that you practice on simulation exercises, that you get inline corrections, that you refine your outreach messages. See, it cannot be a random LinkedIn DM where you're messaging them that, hi, I'm looking for opportunities. Do you have any options? Don't do that. Those messages are never responded to, okay? Never do that. If you're simply thinking of reaching out to a founder and saying that, hi, I'm someone who's looking for work. Can I please help you? You're not going to get a reply. Obviously not, right? Make your outreach messages very nice, very attractive, very I would say hook worthy. Okay, the first 1 second has to catch. Forget the first 3 seconds. This is how it works. Now, it's okay if your English is not that great. It's okay if it's not perfect. We can help you polish this aspect as well and get clarity on the language used in contracts. Okay. How many of y'all are still feeling a little nervous? I saw some of y'all said I'm excited. Some of y'all said yes when you're excited and all of that. But how many of y'all are still feeling a bit nervous about trying this out? I want honesty, okay? I want honest answers here. Okay. Okay. Some of y'all are a bit nervous. Yeah, see, that can happen when you're typing it, but you haven't sent it. You're reading every single thing, checking comma, full stop. You're wondering what the spelling of this particular word you've used for 25 years is, if it's correct or incorrect, right? Don't worry. Preparation is what will remove any and every doubt in your mind and the fear of making mistakes with clients. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is practice makes perfect. Okay. Now, the roadmap that we will be sharing after the founder agreement, co-founder agreement, will tell you how to start preparing in a way that the number of failures you get will be close to 0. Okay, that's the goal of today's roadmap. Do not drop off. Make sure you wait and listen to the roadmap till the end. Okay. Some important agreements that you need to know so that startups can be helped by you are: you can learn an NDA, confidentiality agreements, business formation agreements, employment agreements, commission agreements, leave-in license, lease agreement, IP licensing, an MOU, software development, various types of supply agreements, privacy policy, terms of use for websites, for apps, end user license agreement, also known as click wrap agreements, terms of user for websites, apps, distribution agreements, amendment agreements, various types of contractual letters, letter of renewal, of extension, notice to cure breach, waiver letter. These 15 are very common. Most of the startups keep needing this very often. So if you learn how to draft these 15 contracts, you can possibly help a lot of startups across various sectors, irrespective of your favorite sector. Okay. Now, we'll also share this list of downloadable list of agreements that you can go through, so you do not forget all the agreements that I've just stated, okay? These contracts are very helpful for various businesses. LawSeco students get work by actually drafting these agreements in a simulation mode, which are corrected by experts. So in 3 months, our learners basically have enough work samples for their work, for their portfolio, for their freelancing profiles, and for their public contract authority. What does this do? What do these samples do when you're reaching out to someone for a particular job profile? If you're wanting a new job, if you're looking at a very attractive role, but you don't know if you'll fit into it, these samples can attract the eye of any HR. Okay, this is for the corporates. If you're someone who's looking for freelancing, of course, I've already just mentioned it. Okay, now until you learn everything that I just spoken about, you can assist startups with anything that you already know. You can do compliances, you can do taxes, you can do legal research, you can do website article writing, you can do blogging, you can even handle their social media, create posts, basically whatever they need help with. What I'm trying to say here is just get through that door that they have, and then do whatever they need till you get that contract, because that getting that one contract will help you get a few more clients. Okay, why are you doing all of this? If you're not doing contracts, why are you doing other things? Because you need to build a track record. Professional network has to be created. Getting to know how businesses function is one of the core things when it comes to freelancing. Okay, that is the very simple reasoning for why you need to do what it is that we're telling you to do. Okay. Now, how many of you all are interested in this and want to explore this further? Quickly tell me, because tomorrow we will dive so much more deeper into understanding who are our best bets for international work. Right now, I've simply spoken about domestic. We've simply looked at India, Indian startups, Desi people. Tomorrow, we're going to go international. We're going to see how to look at international work, how to reach out to foreign clients, how to build that foreign track record. Because let's be honest, it's always much more fun to earn in dollars than in rupees, right? Okay, so ready to learn some very core contract drafting skills, because Irene is here to teach you all about it. Irene, you want to take over at this point?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. I'll just stop sharing my screen, or even you can stop sharing my screen. Wait. Fair enough. Over to you, Irene.
Thank you. Let me just share my screen. Guys, what's the energy like? Sneha has just finished a smashing segment about finding clients, finding people that you can start work with, right? 10 on 10, full power. Wonderful. Kind of exhausted. Who is that, Devisha? Devisha, you've come back from a full day of work? Okay, great. So now my responsibility is to dive into a core drafting skill for today. Okay, so the plan is we're going to learn 3 major skills. Okay, how to draft a co-founder agreement. We're going to learn how to draft it from scratch. So from the first call that we get from the client till the time that you're done, like evaluating that first draft. Now we're also going to use a little bit of AI. Okay, and we're also going to figure out, when client responds to us in like different formats, like WhatsApp calls, email, like how can we collate all of that? All of this is the plan for now. Okay. Now, before I obviously go on with that, I want you to tell me, what is a co-founder agreement? Quickly. Have any of you worked on it before, seen it in internships, had to proofread it, anything? Om Shukla knows. Okay. Others? No. Okay, guys, keep the chat box active. Okay, we need to like really have a very flowing chat box. Okay, great. So to put it very simply, co-founder agreement is that initial agreement 2 or more people will enter into when they start thinking about and creating a company. Okay, so they could still be like ideating about the product or service, or the product or service could have already entered into the market, right? At whatever stage, the idea is that 2 or more people have started putting in money, putting in time and effort into a product or service. Now, obviously, when these things are being put in, they want to have meeting of the minds, right? Everyone should be agreeing on the same fundamentals. Otherwise, it could lead to disputes, right? That's the fundamental idea behind every agreement, right? If number one, to prevent disputes. Number two, if disputes happen, how can you amicably amicably resolve it with very low risks for everybody, right? Now, but specifically, why did we choose to learn this today? The thing with co-founder agreement is that obviously the people who enter into it are startups. And what did Sneha tell you in the beginning? Startups are very easy to find these days, right? Many new entrepreneurs, the problem is at this, because they are small, like how I think believe Sony was mentioning in the comments that there are so many startups, they don't have the budget to go for a huge, big time lawyer. So beginner lawyers will be easily able to find such clientele and do this sort of work for them, right? So it's a great opportunity as beginners. If you know how to draft co-founder agreement, you can like reach out to these startups, offer to do this work for them, cultivate a really good relationship. And this will also become one work that you have done in your track record, which you can show to future clientele. And I'll tell you what the importance of this co-founder agreement is, okay? For a lot of startups, when investors start coming in, if you don't have a proper co-founder agreement, it becomes the number one reason why the startup dies off at a really nascent stage itself. Because if your co-founder is not tight, if the clauses in the co-founder agreement are not properly drafted, it can very easily, I mean, whatever disputes arise in the company, it will not be resolved properly, meaning that startup will not be able to scale properly. To prevent that, what do you need to do? Have a good grasp over co-founder agreements and ensure that it is tightly drafted when you get a chance. And also, like, we found data that says that a lot of investors are now wanting to invest into companies at a very early stage itself, right? At the stage when the product or the service is still very new, at the stage when they only have co-founder agreements in place. So these are all the reasons why it's very important. Now, to bring in a little bit more excitement, okay, do you want to know like what is the earning potential if you learn how to draft a co-founder agreement? Yes, how many of you are excited to know that? So this is a screenshot that I pulled out of Upwork, okay, a couple of months ago. Here you can see that the estimated budget for a co-founder agreement for a client in Oman is about $150. Now, there is another one for a client in the US where they're willing to pay about $20 to $100 an hour. $20 is very less. Obviously, it's going to be around $100 an hour for drafting a co-founder agreement. Now, I'll also show you one more data. See, if you take a look at this, this is a realistic table that shows roughly what people are earning if you learn how to draft a co-founder agreement. Now, where is Mr. Om Shukla, who works in a PE department? Maybe he can confirm if these prices are legitimate because he's working in that field. Look at this. In India, if you draft a standard agreement, you're charging anywhere about 25,000. If it's a more complex agreement, you can, excuse me, if it's a more complex agreement, your pricing will go up to like 60,000 or even more. Whatever is in US, UK, Singapore is also given below. Does that make sense? You're excited to learn? Yes? You've understood why we are teaching this, why this is a good initial agreement to learn? Wonderful. Let's begin. Yeah, see, this is what Om Shukla is saying. It goes way higher if the startup starts liking you, and obviously if the agreement is a lot more complex. Okay, so the plan is, let's learn this using some facts. Okay, so we have here Amit, who's an entrepreneur. He's been developing an edtech platform like Glossico, let's say, focused on competitive exam preparation for the past 6 months. So obviously your UPSC and your other judiciary or whatever, like competitive exams material he's been preparing for an edtech platform. That's his company that he wants to start. His college friend Priya has been instrumental in building the technology side of the platform. So it's an edtech company, right? Obviously you need like learning materials and content and things like that. You also need to have the tech side of things, which his friend from college Priya is doing. She's now agreed to come on board as a co-founder. Amit has approached his friend Rahul, a lawyer, to help draft a co-founder agreement to formalize this arrangement. So who are we? Obviously, we are the lawyer, right? We are Amit's friend Rahul. And we get a call from Amit saying, hi, this is the situation. Priya and I are entering into a co-founder agreement. Can you please help out with this? I don't want to think too much about it. You take care of it. You're my friend. Right? But he cuts the call. As now, at what stage are you? When you cut the call, are you immediately able to open your laptop and draft up a co-founder agreement? Anybody here like that? No, obviously the first step is with just this much facts, we can't continue. We need to have more facts, right? We need more information. Now, if you were working in a law firm, if you were working in a company wherein there are other lawyers, wherein there are senior lawyers, this would be a little easy for you, right? Because why? Most of these companies will already have their own questionnaire list, will already have their own checklist to like collect this information from clientele. But assuming you are somebody who's just starting out, right? You're just starting out and you don't have that sort of background help. We can do a little bit. We can learn how to do this using AI. Ready? Are you all with me? Now, first step, we are going to set up a project on Claude. All of you are familiar with Claude, I believe. Bhumika has shown this in the first webinar, and we've also circulated a video for you to know how to set up a project and all of that. So this is going to be my project instructions. I'll quickly explain this. Input one is basic facts. Whatever Amit and Priya are entering into an agreement for the purpose of an EdTech platform. This is they want to have a co-founder agreement drafted. Output one is I want to have a list of questions that I should ask my client, right? Because only if I have all the information can I start typing up my agreement. Input two is going to be all of the information that the client responded to me, right? It could be over call, chat, email, whatever. All of that I'm going to collect and I'm going to feed it into AI. Plus, I will also give a template agreement. The analysis is I want them to analyze all the information that the client has responded to my questions. Tell me what is relevant for the contract. Now, Ashutosh, no worries. Just pay attention. I'll share all of this on the group after class is over. Step one is give details of what information is missing in the input. If additional data is required, ask for it. Obviously, if there are any gaps, let me know. Step two is once you have all the data, I want you to draft a co-founder agreement as per Indian contract standards, keeping in mind enforceability issues such as Indian Contract Act, fair use principles. Act as a contract drafting specialist. Good to go? Everyone good to go? So this is the template I'm going to share. Okay, I will feed this into AI. I will share this with you as well. Now, I also have a checklist in place. I'll share this checklist with you. I'm going to feed this checklist into AI also. Okay. This is a really good checklist that you can use to see, okay, what are the different details that's required. There are two versions. There's a shorter version and there's a more elaborate version. We'll feed both of this into AI. This is the questionnaire that Claude drafted for me. Now, this is a document that I can send to the client and say, please fill up all of this information, right? Because there are lots of information that I can't, as a lawyer, I may not know. The client has to confirm with me, right? So basically, I'm going to use this questionnaire to explain certain concepts about a co-founder agreement to you. Okay. So Garima, yes. Arju, can you please share this with everybody on the chat box? I'll also zoom in so that while I explain, it's clear. See, now, obviously, basic information, full legal name, complete residential addresses, etc. Like, I don't need to explain it. You will understand it. I'll explain equity split and economic interest. So obviously, this is a co-founder agreement, right? So two people are coming together. Both of them are going to be have some sort of ownership in the company. If that is the situation, the co-founder agreement should clearly specify, right? What is the share of each person, or rather, what is each person's economic interest? It can be in whatever percentage the client has to tell me. Further information that's required in this clause is this finals? Is this split final? Or is it going to be subject to any conditions? I'll give you an example. Amit has been working on it for almost 6 months. Priya has only just joined it. So Amit could require that the co-founder agreement say Priya has to input like a couple of lakhs as capital and her equity split is only going to become active after she's put in this sort of amount. Right? Now, there's also one more concept called vesting. I will come to that in like a second. Capital contribution. How much money is, yes, Priyanka, all of this will be shared on the group. How much money is each person going to invest into the company? right? Now, in the capital that both co-founders are going to put in, is there any loans from friends or family? Now, if there is any loan, should you specifically mention it in a clause? Tell me. Just try to imagine. Yes. Why? Because if it's a loan, obviously it has to be paid back, right? Then comes the question, is the co-founder going to pay it back by themselves? Like maybe I took a loan from my a friend of mine, right? So am I the one going to pay it back personally, or do I want the company to pay it back? If I want the company to pay it back, obviously I'm going to attribute it to the company and mention it in the co-founder agreement, right? Because otherwise, much later, my co-founder can tell me, oh no, like that looks like, I mean, you didn't mention it previously, so the company did not pay, you have to pay it back individually. In order to remove all that confusion is why it has to be there in the co-founder agreement. Roles and responsibilities. Very easy to understand who is going to handle what roles and who can take decisions in that particular department. Like I said, like there should be many decisions that's left to whoever is handling it, right? I mean, Priya shouldn't have to call up Amit to ask why the Zoom account has expired. Can I like subscribe to a higher premium version of Zoom, right? So obviously, simple things, they have to be left to each other's decisions, but there should be you have to have a clause that points out certain decisions. Like if you want to bring in a new co-founder, if you want to fundamentally change the business of that particular company, such main things for which there should be a consensus between both the parties, right? Now, if there is no consensus, then if obviously here only two co-founders are there, right? It's difficult to reach a majority sometimes because it's not an odd number. In that case, who is going to be the tiebreaker? You can clearly mention you're going to have a neutral third party that both of you agree to come in and sort of be the tiebreaker. All of that can be very clearly mentioned. Okay. Profit sharing has to be decided between the parties. Time commitment and exclusivity. Are you only going to work on this company, or are you also going to work on other, are you going to be on the board of another startup? Are you going to be an advisor on another startup? All of that has to be properly put in here. Clear to everybody? Yes? Now, I will quickly just explain two more important concepts and then we'll go on with the rest of our AI demo. Vesting schedule. Anybody knows what vesting schedule is? Yes? Okay, few people are saying no, few people are saying yes. Imagine the situation. You have Priya join in the company, right? She's very happy to do work, all of that. But like a month later, she's got this wonderful opportunity. Her family's got an opportunity to migrate to the US or any other country, let's say, whatever. So she's like, oh, sorry, Amit, I know we signed the co-founder agreement. I got like 60% or 40% of the company, but I won't be able to work because I'm going to the US. Would that be fair to Amit? Yes? Would that be fair or not? It would be unfair, right? So Priya has not put in any work, but she's got like her full share in the company and she's able to leave. To prevent such a situation is why you have something called a vesting schedule. It basically means that whatever share is assigned, whatever economic interest is is assigned to a particular person, it will not become vested on them all at once. You can break it up. You can say that maybe like 25% of it can vest upon you after 6 months. Then another 6 months, another 25%. Another 6 months, another 25%. This means that person is sort of incentivized to stay put in that company up until they get their entire set of shares. Okay, similar to how like an ESOP policy works. Everybody gets it? Rajat, I will share all of this on the group, no worries. Compensation, salaries, intellectual property. Now, intellectual property is another clause that I want to discuss with all of you. It's very important that if there is any IP that belongs to the co-founders themselves, then they have to assign that to the company, right? Obviously, because even if a co-founder later leaves, the situation should be such that they are not leaving with IP that's valuable for the functioning of the company. That should ideally be assigned to the company. Okay. Yes, clear? Yes, Devisha, you can have arbitration clauses for this. Okay, wonderful. Exit and termination scenarios. Like there is a concept of a good leaver and a bad leaver. A bad leaver is somebody who's being asked to exit the company for, it could be any reason, like, you behaved fraudulently, or you caused various sorts of harm, like maybe a data breach or like serious offenses for which you are asked to exit the company. A good leaver is somebody who is amicably exiting the company. Okay, there are different parameters to judge these things: non-compete, confidentiality, dispute resolution, future formalization. You can, if you read all of this, you will be able to understand. Okay, this is not, if you just go through this, you'll be able to understand. Shall I move on with my demo? Yes? Okay, thank you. So we're going to send this document to our client, right? Because the client has to answer all of these things for us. Now, obviously, do a proof check to see that, this is a sanitized version that you can send to your client. It doesn't involve any language that shows that it's come from AI, right? Obviously, if you're working with a client and if you're using AI, you should ideally notify them that, you do use AI. That is okay. But make sure that whatever documents you send to them are quite neat. Okay. Now, any practicing litigators here or any practicing advocate? If you were to send a document of this sort to your clientele, right? Will they respond back in a very clean and neat Google Doc, one after the other, answering all the questions, well formatted? Has that ever been anybody's experience? Absolutely not, right? You get it all over the place. Some half of the information comes back on email, which is the best. Otherwise, 2 o'clock in the night, some will come in a voice note, some will come on WhatsApp. Others, you might have to be like, holding your phone like this. You will have to note it down right like that. So, and the next day, you will take another 3-4 hours or maybe even 1.5 days to just put all of these information together and make one legit plot out of it, right? So that's what like all lawyers have been doing until now, right? Up until the beginning of times. So now what you can do is, especially if you are using AI, I will show, there are different techniques that you can use now. So if all of your messages are coming on WhatsApp, something that you can do is, if you just open your WhatsApp now, open any chat, right? And you go to the top, there's an option top right, there are 3 dots. If you click on it, there's an option to sort of export chat. If you use this on your laptop, if you do it on WhatsApp web, you can sort of export chat into your laptop. Okay, then it's a downloadable file that you can attach with AI. If it's on Gmail, it's not very difficult. Obviously, you can copy paste it, or you can easily get a text out of it. If it's on phone, use transcribing softwares. There are many apps that will transcribe phone conversations for you these days. So once your phone conversation is over, it sort of gets collected as a text document that you can download and again attach it to AI. And then like if it's on Zoom, Gmeet and all that, there are many note-taking softwares. In this class only, I see so many of you using Fireflies and Otter and things like that. So you can use something of that sort. Okay, well and good. You know how to collect information now, yes? Great. Now what we're going to do is, let's check out our AI demo. You're ready to check it out, yes? Can you all see my screen? Okay, great, wonderful. So you can see my screen. This is my basic facts, whatever I just showed you. This is not nothing new. It's all things that I've already showed you. See, this is my chat box. Okay, I've said Amit, an entrepreneur, has been developing an edtech platform. Whatever I showed you on the PPT itself, nothing new. Give me a set of questions. So these are the set of questions that they gave me. Everything that we just discussed. Right now, here's the reply I received. So this is again me and another colleague of mine. We sort of answered all the questions on WhatsApp, downloaded it into a laptop and attached it here for the purpose of this demo. Okay. Then AI told me missing or unclear information. All of this information is unclear. So in the next chat, I responded with answers to all the questions. If you are a beginner and if you're just doing this as practice for learning, if you don't know one answer, you can just say input what is considered to be standard market practice or best practice in the market. Okay, obviously for learning purposes, not for real client situations. For that, you need to have the answer. Now, let's run it again, and then Claude gave me this document. I will quickly show you this document. It's taking more than 5 seconds. Yes. So this is the first draft of a co-founder agreement that Claude gave me. Okay, I've already like sort of put it into a downloadable version so to show in class. See, it's the same one that I just formatted and put there, and I manually edited it. I manually edited it. Srishti, the prompt, I will share it with you. Don't worry. And already discussed it also like a couple of slides ago. So see, this is the first draft that I got, which you later then sit and manually edit it. Okay, I've added teaching notes. I've added my edits. If I share this document with you, will you be able to go through it? Yes, will you be able to go through all of the teaching notes? Okay, in that case, can we move ahead with everything else that we have planned? Okay, wonderful. I will share this document with you in class. I want you to tell me, if you were doing this without the help of AI, how much time would it have taken you to reach to that first draft for a co-founder agreement? 5 to 6 hours, Krisha? I don't think it is 5 to 6 hours. It's definitely going to be much longer than that. With AI, it will take you around 5 to 6 hours, okay? Excluding the time that the client takes. Otherwise, even for somebody who's done this sort of work before, it will still take them, I believe, like 1.5 to 2 days, right? For like an experienced lawyer, that is. If you're not somebody who's experienced, it's going to take you much more than that. See, one thing is you have to have absolute certainty over the business interest of the client while drafting this. You should be aware what are certain red flags. Like if there is no vesting schedule, obviously it's a red flag, right? Because it can lead to a risk that you will not be able to handle later. Or if there are no proper termination clauses, if your IP clause is not tight, right? If you sign the co-founder agreement, but some IP that should belong to the company still belongs with a co-founder, that's a red flag, right? So these things should, like that red light should come in your brain when you're going through these sort of clauses. Okay, clear? Confident you can do an exercise of this sort if I give you a homework using AI? If yes, I'll give you a fact situation today. Try it out using AI, manually edit it. Don't just give me the AI draft, manually edit it and you'll send it back to me tomorrow. Wonderful. I'll send it over to you today. Okay, I'll send you the homework after class. See, now you've learned how to draft an agreement, right? Co-founder agreement, it's an expensive agreement. It's a complex agreement, but you have, to some extent, you've learned how to draft this. Is this enough in order to hit your goal of 1 lakh or how much ever you put as your goal or to get a job? Obviously not, right? What are the next steps? What we recommend, what we preach, I would say, to all of our learners is this. You have to, in order to actually attain success, the foundation is obviously learning skills, but along with that, you should also do outreach, which is reaching out to clients, reaching out to potential recruiters, people you want to work with, right? Reaching out to general counsels or partners. Plus, building a track record. When you reach out to a client, when they Google you, they should see something in your name online which shows that, okay, this person is a very legitimate lawyer who does good quality work. Other people have worked with him and they were happy. How do you build that out? The foundation is learn 50 to 100 high demand skills, right? See, when it comes to contract drafting, and people who are working can sort of explain that all the work that you do is not just drafting of contracts, right? Obviously, drafting contracts include reviewing a lot of work. A bulk of a work that a junior associate does is getting a document, getting a draft that you have to review for red flags to send to the other party, right? Then there is negotiation, figuring out like what are you going to compromise on, what are you going to push back on. Yes, can some of the people who are working agree to this? Yes or wrong? Yes or no? Isn't this what the bulk of your work is? You're not just opening a fresh document and drafting every day. Then, more importantly, you need to know how to execute your agreement. Does it need to be stamped? What is the stamp duty? Does it need to be stamped? Does it need to be registered? Even for foreign clients, these people who are targeting international freelance work, you need to learn how to do this for foreign countries as well. Contract lifecycle management. I will share a list of 100 contracts with you. This is general contracts and arrangements, general commercial agreements, corporate contracts. This is a list of 100 agreements that is all sort of arranged basis different industries which you have to master if you want to build a fully a foundational career in contract drafting. Okay, this is something that we totally execute. I will share it. This is something that we make all of our long-term learners learn through, right? Now, once you have learned this, then comes the approach of building a track record. Now, how do you build a track record? LinkedIn testimonials is a great way. Upwork credentials, if you're going the freelancer route. Fiverr reviews. Remember the sort of reviews that you discussed the other day? Yes? You saw that, right? On Fiverr, you saw Amit's reviews, you saw Nishan's reviews. All those sort of becomes their track record. So what we usually do with our learners is, like I told you, every week after learning one assignment, they're given a homework exercise. They draft an entire agreement, we correct it for them. Once it's corrected, it goes into their sample. They go for an interview, they carry it. They're trying for a new client. In that first discussion with the client, they show that, okay, I've done this sort of work before. Many people remain stuck at the knowledge level. Don't be such sort of a person, right? Don't assume that, okay, I just learned something, so the rest of success will come. No, you have to develop the skills of reaching out to clientele. You have to develop the skill of learning how to build a track record. Now, ready to see how to do all of this? What you need to do month by month, week by week? Okay, wonderful. Sneha, are you here?
Yeah.
Okay, Sneha will take you through this session.
Yes. Thanks, Irene. So, I hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
And thank you. Okay, so now we'll be sharing the roadmap. Now see, let me quickly explain it before I move forward. You guys will be getting your personalized roadmaps, which are very specific towards what you should be doing. Okay. However, what I will be talking about now is actually a roadmap that this is followed by our students in our diploma programs. Okay. So we have seen massive success with our students because they have followed these steps. So that is exactly what we're sharing with you so that even you can have an idea what it is that you should be doing different or specifically that will help you advance your career, which will help you with better jobs, better placements, better freelancing opportunities, and everything in the middle that you want to aim for. Okay. So everyone, can we get started? Okay. So we're sharing the same plan with you that our learners also use. Once you understand this roadmap, you should be able to follow this on your own. Okay. But very simple thing, if you need our assistance, we're always there to help you with this. Now, tomorrow, I will be talking about the long-term courses where we will teach exactly all of these things. We will also be revealing a scholarship that's only going to be for the deserving students who want our support in achieving this success and these goals so that they can execute this roadmap effectively and along with ensuring they get the financial success, even if right now they have financial constraints. Okay. But for now, let's just follow what I'm saying so that you understand what the roadmap is. Okay. Now, at LawSeco, we really stress on making our learners do outreach exercises. We've been talking about it nonstop for some time now. Irene has also explained, so have I. You have to network, you have to build your track record, you have to reach out to people. Okay. Everything has to be done side by side, and it's done by our learners during their course itself. This is actually what separates LawSeco from other educational organizations that teach concepts without showing how to monetize them. See, in this day and age, if you have a skill, but you are unable to monetize it, that skill is not a wholesome skill, right? You cannot be waiting until you learn all the skills together to start earning money. At LawSeco, what we do is we teach you outreach and how to monetize your skills literally from the first week itself. So let me quickly explain the first 6 months to you. Okay. In the first 4 weeks, that is basically month one, you will learn how to follow a checklist for contract drafting in common contracts. You will learn how to execute a binding contract, procedure for stamping and registration of contracts, execution of electronic contracts, how to interact with a client who wants you to draft a contract, any type of contract, how to review and redline basic documents, and of course, the most important, the execution and enforcement of these contracts. Next, at this stage, our learners also become familiar with the life cycle of a contract, which is very necessary to know because they will be interacting with clients till the execution. These are very practical skills, and one needs to know all of this so that you can have a successful conversation with potential clients and actually turn them into your long-term clients. Next, we will also be talking about how to do outreach, what are the outreach and track record building activities that are done parallelly with our courses. Sessions and assignments targeted towards outreach and track record building will begin from the very early weeks in our program. And of course, you will continue doing this on a weekly basis. Understand, networking and outreach is the most important part, as important as understanding what clauses a particular contract should have. Ideally, what our base level of expectation is always going to be that you invest at least 2 hours into the program daily. Okay. 1 hour is going to be for understanding these core legal skills, and 1 hour is so you can implement these skills by networking or doing outreach. See, 6 months, if you put in 2 hours on a daily basis, and you are assured a lot of new ventures, you're assured that you will get responses, you will get some clients, you will get some success for sure. Okay. But because you need to actually get this success, it also means that you actually need to put in these 2 hours. Some exercises that you will be doing under our guidance, you'll be posting on your social media regularly with insights and learnings from the course to establish yourself as an expert on contract drafting. You'll be reaching out to potential clients, especially foreign and Indian SME, service firms, startups, and of course, lawyers. You will also be taught to identify upcoming Indian and international SMEs, service firms, startups, and of course, you'll get hands-on training in outreach programs like Apollo to find these startups and offer valuable services like edit their terms and conditions or formalize their businesses, or maybe even get co-founders agreement in places, set up company policies, and basically all the types of agreements that we have spoken about in the past 1.5 hours now. You will also learn how to put up gigs on Fiverr and proposals for projects on Upwork. Of course, we encourage you to create customized proposal templates for different kinds of projects and to apply at least 5 opportunities every day. So you see, the 1 hour that I had mentioned, it will go into this as well. It depends on how you divide your time. All that it matters is that you actually put in the time. Our students add samples of contracts that they drafted in the course on LinkedIn and also on their freelance profiles as their work samples. Understand, it helps in securing their first assignment. It's a core part. Okay. Now, you will also reach out to foreign lawyers who run small law firms, around 2 to 10 people, or are solo practitioners who are in acute need for talent. They will also be happy to give work to skilled lawyers from India who are very cost effective, because let's be honest, most of the foreign lawyers do prefer Indian people to be working for them because it's cost effective for them. You have the option, you have the opportunity, make good use of it. We will also be teaching you how to find these lawyers on various directories as well. If your goal is law firm, in-house, or a GCC job, this is also the time when our placement office starts working with you. Okay, there's also something that we offer. If you are a law student, you can apply for internships with foreign lawyers. Now, don't think that this can only be done by qualified lawyers. Law students can do all of these things to build their track record. They can also do so much more. And trust me, law students will have this one step ahead of other peers because they're starting very early in their career. Now, by the end of the first month, your goal should be to have 3 to 4 testimonials and get your first paid gig. Best would be that some of you may even get well-paying clients. Of course, initially, you will perform a few clients for free so that you can collect early testimonials. It's a good way of creating your track record. When you have a lot of testimonials and good ratings, then work will start flowing faster than you will actually be able to handle. In the second month, you will be learning how to draft a power of attorney, a board resolution, how to prepare pre-contractual instruments and memorandum of understanding, how to draft a staffing agreement, how to draft a franchise agreement, distribution agreement, commission agreement, sponsorship agreement. By this time, Learners that we have usually advance in learning how to draft, review, and execute these common contracts. They also do this by drafting end-to-end contracts on the simulation facts that are given by our team. Understand that this is 1 hour of the core legal learning that is done. Feedback on these drafts is obviously given. In the third month, what is done is our learners transition to advanced corporate agreements and they learn how to leverage AI tools to enhance their drafting. But that also means you'll be learning how to draft articles of association, memorandum of association, term sheets, share subscription, share purchase agreement, shareholders agreement. You'll also learn asset purchase and business transfer agreement, LLP and partnership agreements, how to use AI for drafting, review, and negotiation. Some of you may be doing this, but there are always better ways to learn and prompt. So by the end of the third month, usually our learners have mastered 13 unique contracts, which gives them a lot of confidence to take up higher end work from various clients, Indian and international. A lot of our learners start doing international work with our assistants at this point. As part of their course, they start using advanced AI skills so that they can draft contracts effectively and, of course, in less time. Of course, you have to follow all of these things so that you can stay ahead of the curve, so you can actually make good of what you're learning. Now comes month 4. Month 4 is where things get interesting. Learners grow to focus on advanced finance, arbitration, specialized AI applications to broaden their practice. This phase is designed to make them confident in handling complex agreements, dispute resolution, and AI-powered legal drafting. They also learn individual loan agreement, syndicate loan agreement, hypothecation, and also mortgage. Contractual dispute resolution in domestic spaces is taught end to end. Contractual dispute resolution in cross-border spaces with arbitration also is taught as a method. Now, by this point, by month 4, our learners have also grown their Upwork ratings. They have networked with, at a bare minimum, 20 startups and SMEs, and they've also started doing freelance legal work for other lawyers who prefer outsourcing their work. Okay. In month number 5, learners start learning how to market themselves digitally without ensuring that they do not cause any ruckus to their reputation. They also build top-notch track record along with the regular skill-based classes that we take. They learn how to create and audit their own personal brand and online presence. They create portfolios to build trust with clients, statement of claim and statement of defense, force majeure, legal notices, addendum, amendments, termination letter, and also novation agreements. So now they have optimized their LinkedIn, they've published articles, they have established their credibility. Basically, they're out in the market, they're learning, they're doing better. And they are in a space where they can very easily, confidently, and comfortably not only speak to clients, but also onboard newer clients. Their digital footprint basically speaks for themselves at this point. Month number 6 is where things become even more interesting. They learn trademark assignment licensing. They learn copyright assignment, invention assignment, introduction to IP contracts, privacy policy, terms of use. Now, where should you be reaching by the end of these 6 months? Okay. By the end of 6 months, our best learners easily start earning anywhere around $1,000, which is somewhere around 1 lakh, or even more than that per month. And as a minimum, you should be able to get a higher paying job. That's a bare minimum that you can expect. You should also expect to land a few clients that bring in about 40 to 50,000 monthly. This is on the lower threshold that you should be getting, okay? If they have followed the things that we say. That is basically learning at least 20 to 25 new skills from our classes and assignments, pitched at least 50 startups, SMEs, service firms, and foreign lawyers in India and US, UK, Canada, following our guidance and delivered some work for them, which reflects in their Upwork and in their LinkedIn profile. So basically, doing a lot of outreach. They spend 3 to 4 hours per week pitching to clients, not learning more things, but just pitching to clients on various platforms or cold emailing foreign and Indian startup service firms. They have published at least 3 to 4 articles in their chosen area of expertise, and they are, of course, doing their outreach. Now, what happens in the next 6 months? From the month number 6 to month number 12, What you will be required to do is you will learn how to draft 100 contracts across multiple industry sectors. You will also learn how to draft legally valid enforceable contracts in 5 major states in the US. Apart from that, you will learn how to draft enforceable contracts in the 10 commercially most important countries in the world, 3 to 4 hours pitching to clients on a weekly basis. And of course, the rest of the time that you get, you will work with foreign lawyers, startups, SMEs, service firms, law firms, internships, jobs. If you're someone who's looking for better placements at this point, you should have also gotten a few leads on this. Okay. So, this entire roadmap, we will share it because I have a very good feeling that if in case you were just listening to me, you would have forgotten a few points. We don't want that happening. We will share this with you on the chat here as well on the group itself. Okay. Now, this roadmap shows the path to the goal that you have chosen. If you want to build an independent practice, you'll be learning skills, drafting samples from assignments. You'll be doing freelancing, testimonials, which basically lead to paying clients, domestic and international. It also shows you the path to a new job if that's what you want. You learn these skills, you build a portfolio with your samples. We have a placement office. We help you with your interview prep. And of course, you get your law firm, your in-house or your GCC offers flowing in soon. Now, I've spoken a lot. Now I want to understand from you guys, how many of y'all think this is doable? How many of y'all think this is doable? See, it can feel overwhelming. That's an understandable emotion. It can feel like a lot as well. That's okay. But how many of y'all think this is something you can execute, you can do? So nice to, yeah, yes, you got a hustle. Okay. So now, Irene, can you please take it forward because we have someone we would like to introduce.
Yes. So I want to introduce somebody to you who's actually got some experience in executing this roadmap. Okay. So this is someone who graduated in 2017. After her graduation, she spent a couple of years preparing for government examinations, but unfortunately, it didn't lead the way that she initially hoped it would. So she had to go through that sentiment that a lot of people who take a career break for exam preparation does. She was beginning to feel a little stuck, but her career turned around completely because she decided to focus on developing practical contract drafting skills, right? She's going to talk to you about like how it was helpful. She was somebody who took action. She didn't wait around too long, and where it eventually took her is to an international drafting practice earning about $4,000. She's somebody who's like rated 5-star on Upwork. She's had also secured a 12 LPA job opportunity. She's somebody who's today working with independent clients from different countries. I'll have her communicate to you, have her speak to you now. Her name is Nikita Mukati. Hi, Nikita.
Hi, Irene. How are you doing?
We're all doing well, Nikita. Thank you so much for joining us. I see that you're from your car. Can you quickly speak to our audience here and let us know, what was your experience like executing this roadmap? So specifically, what sort of learning did you do? What sort of agreements did you get to draft by yourself? How did it take to your first client?
Hi, everyone. So, I'm Nikita Mukati. I hail from Indore. I pursued BA LLB honors from School of Law DAVD, and then I started preparing for civil judge examination. But unfortunately I couldn't clear it because